Dorothy, 28 Days in the Valley, 13 tracks, 53 minutes, the second album of the American rock band released March 2018 by Rock Nation. Produced by Linda Perry, who also has writing credits on all but 2 of the tracks here. 3 singles have been released in Flawless, Ain't Our Time to Die, and Who Do You Love? This album was intended to be less metal than previous works and more stoned with some desert vibe in there as well.
I think that's very much on the money, the desert vibe. Very old school style of blues influenced southern rock I got out of this. I thought the title of the album really summed it up very well. It sounds very dry and it sounds like everyone's fucking thirsty. You know, it's like it's the middle of nowhere and, you know, all I've got is my acoustic guitar sort of vibe, and I really got that. Vocally remind me of Estelle out of Echo Del Tuscadero, whatever the fuck that is. These names that people are coming up with, fuck.
Yeah, who'd ever seen a band name?
Yeah, I know, right? Samarkand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know,
Eat the damn orange.
at least we can say those words.
That's true.
They're
simple.
I thought it had a lot of Estelle in her voice, just as that aspect. There's a huge amount of soul. You really felt she meant every word that she was saying or singing.
Yep.
Along the lines of like a Melissa Etheridge or something like that, you know.
Yeah, the smoky tone.
Sort of raspy, that sort of, you know, it's not female radio friendly voice. It's either you like it or you don't, you know, and it's either going to make it on talent or not by commercial standards of today, you know. It sounded very authentic. Now, I don't know what they did previous to this. This is my introduction to Dorothy.
Same for me, yeah.
But if they had a metal or rock thing, this is a way big departure from that.
Yeah, I don't know. I did briefly check out when I read that and just went, it doesn't make much sense to go from a more metal sound to this. But some of the previous stuff is a bit heavier than this, for sure.
Yeah, I heard some country in it as well. And when I say country, like the real authentic, like...
What, not Garth Brooks?
Well, he's so authentic, it's crazy. It's like Domino's Pizza. You know, authentic Italian fucking pizza right there, you know.
I'll never forget that ad. Now with real pineapple.
As opposed to the fucking other yellow shit they had on it. I just thought the emotion and mood was captured really great, like right now. So
we're conveying everything.
Everything was spaced out really good in this release. You know, I had lots of time to breathe and mood and move, I should say. Production wasn't overdone, which I thought really captured the vibe very well. It's very warm, which you don't get that in releases these days. So it reminded me a lot of yesteryear. When I say yesteryear,
big
even
70s on this,
yeah, even before, you know, I knew albums existed, you know, like I felt that really rustic yet authentic feel about it. And I thought it was a really well done album. Like I wouldn't go searching for this, but I'm glad I heard it. It just opened up my ears to something else. Freedom, White Butterfly, Philadelphia, Ain't Our Time to Die are my standouts. 9 out of 10.
Nice. Ooh. Well, there we go.
Yeah,
it's going large.
Yeah.
I love this album. Old school, excellent old school rock album. There's a bit of like 60s guitar pop in there. I was getting a lot of like Bayou Blues kind of vibes from it.
Bayou Blues in there.
I thought her vocals were excellent. She reminded me a lot of Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just that, and her use of melodies were excellent. The songwriting was excellent. I thought the guitar tones were really, really spectacular. Just driving the shit out of the tubes. And just getting that really warm, rusty kind of sound that you really don't get very much. But at the same time, it sounds like it was released in 2018. Yeah. It is relevant. The lyrics are phenomenal. Everything about this was really pretty spot on. There wasn't really a weak point on it either. Like, there was no point where I got bored. Like, this was one of the albums that I sent to my friends and was like, you got to check this out. This is fantastic. Standout track for me was Black Tar and Nicotine. I gave it a 9 out of 10. This is spectacular.
Okay. Cool. Wow. I didn't know how this would go. Not this well. I didn't think this would go this well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my opening line will be interesting.
Well, I figured I'd get death threats from the last episode.
Better say something nice at some point.
Dear Dorothy, please call me. I'm ready and willing to have your baby. What a voice, man. Jesus. I love a good female vocal, and I love this album. This is some mighty fine rock that I just found hard to fault.
Wow.
There've been some amazing albums this year, all up. I reckon there's going to be so many female-fronted ones in my top 10 this year, which I don't think's ever happened before. There's one or two in
resurgence.
there. There's been so many. It's madness. This is just great.
Wait till I go through a list of what we've actually done this year.
Yeah.
That's a big list.
It's going to be a challenging one to say the least. I'm pretty sure this will land in my top 10s this year because I just absolutely loved it. This is just good old-fashioned songwriting here too. Just written properly with meaning. It's got everything I want from this style of music. The whole band delivers without studio tricks.
Yeah.
Feels like they could be sitting in your lounge room and rip this out. It would still be mind-bendingly good. The songs do all the heavy lifting, but they perform to perfection. It is just really good. It's rock, blues, there's elements of psychedelic stuff as well. It's awesome sauce in its purest form. I gave it 9.5 out of 10. Highlights to me were Who Do You Love, Mountain, Freedom, and On My Knees.
Which is where you are, right?
Exactly.
With real tomatoes in that sauce.
Yeah, the thing as well.
Real pineapples too.
The drummer was so far behind the beat. It sounded like they were about to fall apart at any one point in time, and it just added so much to it.
No.
Yeah. Good job. Not playing to the clip.
I hope Andrew liked it.
Let's find out. There is some good classic rock with that big desert overtone, which has been in vogue for a while now on this. It's a bit laid back, but there's heaps of space in this for the vocals shine out front, as they should with a voice like this. I must state just how gorgeous Dorothy's voice is. It's fantastic, sultry, powerful, really captivating stuff.
Brendan's pregnant, eh?
Yeah.
I
Congratulations, by the way.
let us know what sex it is so we can have a special party for it. We'll have a cake. Where it's
A cake reveal.
cake reveal, yeah. I'm glad you knew where I was going with that.
Not put my baby through this shit.
Oh, hang on, here we go. Come on, we've got to pave the way for the next generation, don't we?
Yeah.
My kids aren't on board, we've got to get someone's on.
It's all about imagery.
Yeah, well, blue, green, and everything else in between. There is some real throwback tracks on this, some really like stuff that's straight out of the 70s, I found. A groove-based, laid-back, cruise kind of album that's easy to take in. It's got that... I know people that are real penchants for the desert rock, the stone rock thing, and this is going to be right in their wheelhouse in a heartbeat. It's got that muffled overall tone, the booming snare, the washy cymbals, the rumbling bass, the fuzzy guitar, that's all there. The vocal has that hot compressor running on it, which sounds really good for her voice. There's more diversity to this, which is refreshing. Like, they open things up points which allow some good depth and space in there. Not over the top on the fuzzy tones, which is a nice switch from a lot of the releases in this field, because I've been a bit tired of the desert rock thing for a little while now. I found it's a victim of its own success. Everyone's trying to emulate the same shit, and this band hasn't gone down that path. Interesting lyrics, good wordplay in it, pretty intelligent stuff that has both deep meaning and humour in that regard. But there is some intense content in there as well, which is cool. I'm glad we're getting more of the confrontational side of music again in the art and the expression of it. It's good that's coming back into it. Great performances and composition. This is well put together. If you like damn good female vocals surrounded by a bit of dirt and polish with a fuzzy retro feel, you're going to really enjoy this. Where this does fall down for me, like a lot of other releases, is that there's not enough diversity for the overall album. I can do about 30 minutes of this sort of stuff without any problem at all. But when it starts getting up toward that hour mark, I just find there isn't enough diversity in an album listen for mine to keep me locked in. I find my attention wandering too easily. And I gave this a few spins, and just toward the end of the album, it's losing me. It doesn't do enough to keep me involved. There's some good hooks in this, which makes you sort of come back to it. Each song on its own is fantastic. It's nothing to do with talent or writing or all of that sort of stuff. It's more to do with the tempo of the overall album. I found the tempo just allowed one thing to lull into the next a bit too easily for mine. I needed more breaks to go, oh, hang on, I've got to come back and pay attention to something else that's coming in now. The dynamics weren't... It was, like that. Just relatively consistent, whereas I want a bit more... For me, it just wasn't there. It was a good collection of songs, just not a riveting, complete album. It didn't lock me away. for fans of the genre, they'll eat this up in a heartbeat. If you love your desert stoner rock, this is right up there. You're going to love this. But if you're just a passing listener, more like myself, it may not grab you. But then again, it got these guys hooked in a heartbeat. I'm not sure how many times you'll spin it if you like me, but if you like these guys, it'll be in your top 10 if you're Brendan. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
Cool.
Pretty When You're High, Black Tar Nicotine, On My Knees, and Ain't Our Time to Die, We Are Stars. They were my standouts. So, but they were the ones that really stood out. The rest I could sort of take or leave in the context of things. So that's where I wrote that down. Anyway, check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think. Why am I always on the outside when it comes to these things?
How you do it?
Well,
Yeah,
I know why you're on the outside.
I'm thinking top
but
10
I
as
don't
well
really
for
say it right now.
Oh, here we go.
Going better?
Stradivarius? No, not Stradivarius. Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, really?
Because the other...